Welcome to American Civil War Facts, where we explore little-known facts about the battles, soldiers, leaders, and technology that shaped America. Who was the cadet that bested Robert E. Lee at West Point? Today we're diving into the story of a man you've probably never heard of, but who outshone one of America's most famous generals. Get ready to meet Charles Mason, the man who graduated ahead of Robert E. Lee at West Point. The year was 1829. At the United States Military Academy, a group of cadets was about to graduate. Among them were two exceptional students, Robert E. Lee, who would later become a legendary Confederate general, and Charles Mason. But here's the fact. It wasn't Lee who finished first in the class. That honor belonged to Charles Mason. Born in New York in 1804, Mason showed early promise in mathematics and science. At West Point, he excelled in every subject, earning the highest academic scores in his class except for the final year where Lee bested him in engineering. In fact, the three highest scores ever recorded at West Point belonged to Mason, Lee, and Douglas MacArthur. But Mason's story takes an unexpected turn. Despite his military education, he decided the Army wasn't for him. 2 years after graduation, he hung up his uniform and picked up law books instead. Mason's legal career was nothing short of impressive. He moved west to Iowa, where he quickly made a name for himself. In 1838, he became the first Chief Justice of the Iowa Supreme Court, helping to shape the laws of the newly formed Iowa Territory. In 1853, President Franklin Pierce appointed Mason as the U.S. Commissioner of Patents. The guy who beat Lee at West Point was now in charge of America's inventions and innovations. During his time as commissioner, Mason modernized the patent office, revised the patent application process, and diversified the workforce by hiring several women, among them Clara Barton. Now you might be wondering, what about the Civil War? While his classmate Lee was leading Confederate forces, Mason took a different path. He opposed the war and worked to promote peace, showing that military education doesn't always lead to military action. So why don't we hear more about Charles Mason? Well, history has a funny way of remembering some and forgetting others. While Lee became a central figure in the Civil War narrative, Mason's contributions were more behind the scenes, in courtrooms and government offices rather than on battlefields. But Mason's story reminds us that history is full of unsung heroes. His academic triumph over Lee, his legal career, and his work in the patent office all left a lasting impact on America. So the next time someone mentions Robert E. Lee's academic prowess, you can smile and say, "Sure, but did you know about Charles Mason?" Thanks for tuning in to another hidden fact of history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories from the past.